Would you like to make these in 1 hour? Well, today I'm going to show you exactly how to do that so that you can make these cute little reindeers yourself too. Okay, let's talk materials. For your yarns, you'll need super bulky size 6 weight yarn in 4 different colors. You'll need one for the main body, another for the horns, feet, and arms, white for the snout, and beige for the belly. For your tools, you'll need a 4mm crochet hook if you're using the same size of yarn as I am. You'll also need 8mm oval safety eyes, stitch markers, a blunt needle, sport weight yarn for the red nose and blush, and Fiberfill for stuffing. Okay, let's get started. You're going to make a magic circle and single crochet 6 inside. Now, if you find that you struggle to close your magic circles when working with this type of yarn, I do have a video in my channel that talks about troubleshooting some of these issues. For round 2, you'll follow the instructions as stated. Moving on to round 3, again, follow the instructions. Then, for rounds 4 to 7, you're going to single crochet all the way around. Moving on to round 8, just follow as stated below, and you're going to continue in this main color. Then we'll proceed to the part where we make the foot and we change colors. To do that, you're going to attach your yarn just before you finish the last single crochet before you make the bobble. And to make the bobble for the arm, you're going to double crochet 3. So this is 1, 2, and for my third one, I'm going to do that first step, and in the last one, I'm going to change colors again, drop that loop, and bring it through the first double crochet that I made, and then I can continue with the pattern. Now, before we finish our last single crochet, we're going to change to our white yarn and make 5 half double crochets in the next stitch to make the nose or the snout of our reindeer. So remember, it's not double crochets for the nose, but half double crochets, and a total of 5. And I'm going to change my color here before I finish off the last half double crochet. Drop the loop, go inside the first half double crochet, and bring that loop through to form the bobble. And you can continue with the pattern. And now we'll change colors again to make the second arm, and you'll do the same thing as you did for the first one. Okay, and now you can continue with the rest of the pattern, and this will up your stitch count to a total of 30. Moving on now to round 9. You're going to attach your beige color at this point here, and remember, for changing colors, just always do that in the last step of your single crochet. Now I'm switching back to the color of the main body, and I'm going to follow again with the pattern. Now you may have noticed that in doing my color changes, I don't crochet over the yarn. Now you can do that if you like, but I prefer not to because I feel like the color shows once you put in the Fiberfill. And then moving on to round 10, we're going to single crochet 11 in the main color of the body. And change back to our beige. Now at this point we're going to make our decreases, but I'm going to do an invisible decrease. So I'm going to go through the front loops only to make my single crochet and make those 2 single crochets from the bottom into 1. So again, you go in through the front loop only of those 2 stitches, pull through and pull through again to make your single crochet. And change back to our main color and complete round 10. Now to round 11. You're going to follow the instructions below in the main color, and then we will continue with our color changing in the front. Changing back to our main color, you're going to continue to finish round 11 as written below. Now for round 12, we're going to make 3 double crochets in 1 single stitch, then we'll chain 2 and make another 3 double crochets in that same stitch. So this is another bobble, but we're doing it slightly different to give it the look of a tail. So here are my chain 2, and I'm going to make that double crochet in that same stitch. That's 1, 2, and our last one here. Now drop that loop, go into the first double crochet that you made, and pull your loop through that. And this is your first stitch of the round. Okay, now continue with the instructions below. I'm going to change colors now to the darker one to make my foot. To do that, I'm going to make 4 double crochets instead of 3. And I change here back to my beige color because I will be continuing the rest after the foot in the beige color. So I close off my foot and continue with the instructions. Now switch back to the dark color again to make the last foot. And again, that's going to be 4 double crochets to make that a bobble. And I'll switch back to the main color for the body after the bobble so that I can finish the rest of the round. Round 13, you're going to be working in the front loops only. And if you want, you can also cut your yarn at this point in all of the colors except the main color, because you won't be needing the other colors anymore. Now before we continue with the rest of the rounds, we want to start placing our eyes, and you can do that by putting safety pins between rounds 7 and 8. Once you're happy with where they are, you can go ahead and put your safety eyes. Now I'm using oval safety eyes, but you could also use round ones if that's what you have. And I like to stretch my amigurumi a bit to see if I like where the eyes are placed, because once you fill it, it will stuff, and it does actually change the look of where the eyes are a little bit. So I'm going to move this one slightly over. Once you're happy with where they are, you can go ahead and put the safety backings inside the amigurumi. And I like to curve mine in slightly inwards instead of just having them straight, but you can always fix this at the end as well. Now go ahead and start to fill with your Fiberfill. And this is a part I do like to take some time with, because I find how you stuff your amigurumi makes a huge difference in how it looks. And then once you're done with that, you can continue to round 14. Now for round 15, we're going to single crochet and then decrease, just like we did for the previous round. Now I'm only going to do about half of round 15, and while that hole is still big enough, I'm going to continue filling with Fiberfill. I'm going to fill it so that I can emphasize the potato-like shape of this reindeer, as this is, of course, part of a collection of potato-shaped animals that I'm currently working on. They're all meant to be no-sew, easy and quick. And if you're interested in more of those, you can check that out in my Etsy shop, which is listed in the description of this video. We've now finished with our round, so we can cut our yarn. And to weave in our end, we're going to weave in the front loops only of all of the remaining stitches. Then we'll pull out our strand until the hole closes completely. Then you can weave in your end. Now to attach our yarn for the right ear, you're going to attach it in round 2 of the body, and you want it to be in line with the arm. So I'm going to attach my yarn right here. Now we're going to go ahead and make 3 chains. Then in our second chain from the hook, we're going to single crochet 1, and then in that first chain we'll single crochet again, now slip stitch back in the loop of the body, chain 1, and turn your work. Single crochet in that first stitch, making sure not to single crochet in the slip stitch you made. So in that first single crochet, and then increase in the last single crochet at the top of the ear, and this will naturally curl your work so you can easily single crochet in the chains. So I've made 1, and now I'm going to single crochet in that last chain there, and slip stitch back inside the loop where we attached our yarn. Now you can cut off your yarn and weave in your ends. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that, And I'm going to show you how to attach the other side of the ear. You want to attach again by round 2 and in line with the arm, but you want to come in from the back of the body. You'll chain 3 and continue with the same instructions as the previous ear. Now to weave in your ends, what I like to do is to curl my tail and come through the middle of the ear as so, just to cinch it a little. Now once you've done that, just weave in your ends so that you can secure the ear to the body. Now moving on to our horn. For the right side, we're going to attach our yarn as close as we can to that ear, but attaching it to the body of the reindeer, and we're going to chain 5. Now we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and then continue to single crochet 2 more for a total of 3. And then we'll slip stitch in that first chain. Now for the second side of the horn, you're going to chain 4 and single crochet in the second chain from the hook and single crochet 2 more for a total of 3. Now we're going to make 1 more single crochet in that first chain before we started to chain 4 for the second horn. So in that same chain, or in other words, the first chain that you made after you attached your yarn. And then we'll slip stitch back on the body of the reindeer in that same loop where you attached your yarn. Now you can go ahead and cut your yarn and weave in your end to help secure the horns back on the body of the reindeer. Now you're going to attach your yarn for the left horn, and you want to come in through the back and get as close as you can to that ear while attaching to the body of the reindeer. And then just repeat the same steps for this horn as you did for the other one. Now to make the details of the face, I'm using sport weight yarn, and I'm just going to use a small strand in red, and I'm going to wrap it around a total of 6 times inside that circle. Then I'm going to pull both ends to form a knot in the middle, and you can use your fingers to help it come together. Then you'll take your end and you're going to weave it in through the nose. So to the right of one of the stitches in the center there, come out through the bottom. And you want to repeat the same thing for the other end. So come inside the other side of that stitch there and come out the same stitch where you came out from the first end. Now you don't want to pull it too tight because you don't want it to be hidden inside the yarn there. Now you can tie your ends into a knot. I like to make 2 knots just to secure it. And you can weave in those ends through the body so that you don't see any of that red at the bottom there. Now for the blush, I like to do the same thing. I like to form a circle and wrap my yarn 5 times around it to form a little knot. Now you can do that same thing, or you can also sew your strand on the actual amigurumi, not directly underneath the eye, but to the side of it. I like to just place this knot right beside it there. That way I'm not having to sew over this yarn, because I don't know about you, but sewing on amigurumi is one of the hardest things in crochet.
Let's take a walk, and we can follow the moonlight till we reach a place we can stay. Maybe kiss a bit and dream away. And in a while we're gonna go. And
then you want to repeat the same for the opposite side. You want to make the blush not underneath the eye, but to the side of it.
Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby.
Now you just need to weave in your ends and you're done with your reindeer. And all in 1 hour. Or 1 hour and a few minutes more. Anyways, if you enjoyed this pattern, please leave a like or a comment down below. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas.